Marsha, salute. Okay, Marsha, how things been going? How things been going? How's your day going so far? You ain't missed nothing, Marsha. You ain't really missed nothing. You ain't really missed nothing. I think the last time I went live was at the football game anyway, so I don't know if you into sports. Yeah, I don't know if you into sports, but the last time I went live, I was at the Giant game. Charles, you already, man. Salute. Appreciate the pull up, man. It's always us, never them. You already. Delvin, bless up. Appreciate the pull up, King. Keep working. Keep delivering that message, King. I'm tuned in. Keep delivering that message. You wasn't there at the party thing in the football. Oh yeah. I had the yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, the party. Yeah, you right. Okay, Marsha, I see you. You tuned in. Yes, sir, Delvin. Yes, sir, King. Always, man. I thank you. Okay, Marsha on point like a sniper. I didn't forget all about the yeah, that's my we threw that for the fallen soldiers on my block every year. You know, so that was a dope outing. Everybody had fun. So that was dope. Yeah, that was dope. Everybody had a good time. No violence. Not a problem. Not a problem. Hope everybody enjoying this beautiful day. It's definitely a beautiful day out. There's a lot going on. It's definitely a lot going on. So we're gonna talk about it. There's a lot going on. So we definitely gonna talk about it. Especially in the well, the entertainment business is like that's pretty much that's secondary. We all know that. That is secondary. That but real life is getting wicked. About to eat the ice cream right now. I dig that. I dig that. But yeah, people, it's messy. Like out in this world here, it's messy. It's a messy situation. There's a lot of demonic things going on. And it's really starting to get starting to get scary, people. I know for me anyway. You know what I mean? It's starting to get real scary. You don't know when and if it's cool to let your kids outside. You know what I mean? You gotta watch what spots they go to. You know what I mean? You know, everything now, man, you gotta do with a cautious tail, man. You gotta do with a cautious tail. Word. Definitely gotta do with a cautious tail. The rug man. But you know, appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. Rocking out with your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. Monique, salute. Appreciate the pull up. You know, we're gonna do a little noon talk. You know what I mean? Talk about what's, you know, kind of like what's going on in the world, man. You know, well as entertainment. Renegade Society Production, salute, my guy. You know, we gonna talk about something that let the planes go by. It's a fact, Delvin. Gotta stay firm. Gotta stand on law. If you don't stand on law, you ain't standing on nothing. You ain't standing on nothing. Not these days anyway. But we gonna talk about some things, man, that you know, that is pretty much, you know, it's happening right before our eyes. You know what I mean? So, you know, as you come in and hit the like button, people, you know what I mean? Again, you know, you rocking with your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka Mr. 10453, aka I'm always there, you never there, you dig, aka I'm a never need for $20, aka I just spank them on their bosom every state I go to, aka Big Bucks, Dinero, all hundos, absolute, aka Ozzy. You understand me? In that order, people, that's fact. And please know, them names was given to me. I didn't give them to myself. I did not give them to myself. See, I know how, you know, how I always like to do, man. You understand? Before we get into our spiel, you know, we got we got Jim Jones to the podcast, A to A, artist to artist. My bad, people. You already know, gotta let that plane go by. You dig? But yeah, we got, like I've said, Jim Jones, our new little podcast, you know, A to A, I guess, artist to artist. First show, you know, it's pretty alright. You know, I see people hating. You know, people just got to start congratulating first, man, and then, you know, walk into it with your opinion. You know what I mean? Nobody can be mad at you about your opinion, but, you know, don't get being opinionated, you know, from hating and slandering. Asia, salute, appreciate the pull up. You know what I mean? Don't get that twisted. You know, I think that's what we be doing. You know, dudes that get that misconstrued. You know what I mean? You know, from giving your opinion and just hating on somebody. You know? So yeah, so salute to Jimmy, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you know, some big artists will come through. Yeah, they gotta respect it, Charles. That's it, man. You know, but you know how that is, man. People don't understand that. Like common sense is just not common these days. You dig? So, you know, salute you know, Jimmy. Hopefully, you know what I mean, that do what it do. You know what I mean? Salute to Fat Joe and Jada. Hopefully that do what it do. Um, Mikey, salute. You know, shout out to the up and coming podcasters as well too. Shout out to my man Ming. Yes, you know what I mean? Shout out to the, you know, the up and coming podcasters. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Ming doing his thing. Make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to my man Top Shot. Top Shot, you know, he doing his thing. You know, he's doing his thing. You know, shout out to my man SRB Bobby, aka OG Bobby Johnson. He out there causing problems. You know, make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe to my Gaza. You know what I mean? So, who else? Shout out to my man Rose Gold. Rose Gold over there doing his thing. You know, he may no need no introduction. You know, he been here forever. Who else doing anything? Shout out to DD. Yeah, shout out to the sis. You know, she out there doing her thing. You know what I mean? Creating her own lane. Salute to that. I hope I ain't miss nobody, man. You know, that's popping out with with their own situation. Then I guess shout out to my man Delvin. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Delvin. He definitely putting it on. 050 the movement in the building. Salute to my guys at China Brim. You already, man. Keep winning. You already know, though. Salute. Appreciate everything you doing, my guys. Yeah, Delvin, man. Shout out to Delvin, man. Delvin definitely putting it on. You know what I mean? You know, he in his own space, his own lane. You know, he created his own content. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put it no conscious or this or that. You know, he's in his own lane and he's creating dope content. You understand? Y'all make sure y'all go check Delvin out, man. It's the king. You know, when you tune in, you know, the Delvin, you know, leave the play at home because you'll miss the message. You know what I'm saying? We need guys like that around the sector. I mean, we had some guys going in that direction. Vic, salute, my guy. We had guys going in that direction, but you know, they caught the premeditation failure, disease. You know what I mean? They just felt like they wasn't gonna make it, so, you know, they just stopped. But we need people like Delvin, you know, definitely, waking the people up. You know what I mean? It's much needed. You know what I mean? And from me to you, Delvin, keep winning. I don't care if you ain't got one person in the building. You keep throwing that word out there to them. You know what I mean? Keep feeding them that mental nourishment. You know what I mean? Like you got 1 million people in the building watching you, man. You know what I mean? So keep winning. Word. Who else, man? And that's really about it, man. For those that's up and coming, and then, I see, a lot more people starting to take, this thing more serious. Which is a good thing. You know what I mean? It's definitely a good thing. You know what I mean? That's a whole fact. It's definitely a good thing. You dig? So, Support is free. You know what I mean? Support is free. You understand? Um, oh yeah. Hey yo, Renegade Society. Uh, drop your link. Drop the link to Dedicated Crime Music. Zan, salute. I can spit. I can spit, Zan. Celebrity TV, salute. Appreciate the pull up. Renegade Society Production. Asia, if you have it, drop his link if you can, or if you could do it yourself, Renegade, drop your link to Dedicated Grind Music and your personal as well. No need for the instrumental. All right, I can do that for you. Something short, right? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Hey, Renegades, you heard, right? Drop that link. All right, this is for Zane, right? Let me drop something for Zane real quick. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go conscious. I'm gonna go conscious first, and then, you know, I'm gonna get and, you know, spit something else. Now, I do something else, and then I do the conscious later, right? Check it out, right? Hey yo, everywhere that I go, niggas know my name. I'm flooring niggas in the only way your buck can change. I gave a lot of black eyes in my store and days. A lot of niggas be spawn shades. I only hang with originators. Stick on my, you know what, like magnets on refrigerators. Something light, you know what I mean? Something light, you know what I mean? Without the cursing and all that, something light. You dig? Then I go conscious too. You know, I be the Asiatic dicker, the mathematic kicker. I'm the one who made Jack Tripper. So button your lip before I made you see the little dipper. Back to the skills that I see in me. I see my skills real because I deal with reality. Let me say it faster. My culture is Islam. I still flow the master, you bastard. Ooh. You know, something light, Zen, something light. Something light. Something light, Zane, or Zen. What's that? I'm saying it right? Hold on, let me see if I'm saying it right. Zen, okay, yeah, something light, Zen. You dig? You know, that was for Zen. You know, I dropped something for Zen over there. Yeah, something light, Zen, something light. You dig? Something light. But y'all already, man, y'all are now rocking out with your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Talk they talk on Noon Talk with your boy 050BUCKS. That's a fact. Make sure on your way in the building, please hit the like button. Please share the live if you can. Go subscribe. and go to the notification bell and hit all. Nah, I ain't got no Spotify. I don't, you know what I mean? I got a music label though, Feed the Fam Entertainment. You can go check that out. Yeah, go to my community wall, check that community wall out. You know what I mean? I got merch, Stand on Law merch. What else? Yeah, you know what I mean? Appreciate the support in advance. You know what I mean? But heavy on the like button, share the live and subscribe. That's the whole fact. That's a whole fact. So y'all already know, man, around this time I do what I do. You understand? I do what I do. You dig?
Turn off my debit card.
Never them. Us never them. Dark side lurking with a fake ones vanish. Never them. Shoot right back. Yeah, my aim the tightest. If you chat reckless, get cacked in the chat. Perfect said Flash never M. We don't switch script. Nah. Dark side biz. With a offs get clipped. Boom. China Brim. Harlem Legend. Platinum Shine. All my support. Y'all part the team. Gang, 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 gang. Man, that a game. I just spin the block. My content. Live them tight. Feeling lame. Hip hop news. More like hip hop L's. I just died at one. Now we singing bells. All smooth funny, but they still stuck. 050 bucks just to shoot right back. Us never them. Miss me with the talk. I don't suggestion. Nah. Dark side biz. Never say all the but we bringing off. Dark side season where the snakes get peeled. Loyalty to code, but the get exposed. I'm the truth in fact. Cross that line, but we bringing off. Us never them. We don't switch the script. Nah. Dark side biz. Yell apart the team. Gang. Minds flow witty punches. They be talking tough, but they move in fear. I just pop a top, let the truth appear. Nah, man, that shit a joke. I just flip the scene, leave them in a choke. Dark side. Us never them. Us never them. 050 bucks, Mr. Shoot right back. Dark side general, where the lanes get packed. All my supporters, y'all the realest ones. Without y'all, this ain't fun. Silence. Loud. Silence. Dog. Silence. Us never them. Them. 050 bucks. Mr. Shoot right back. Dark side general, where the lanes get packed. All my supporters, y'all the realest ones. Without y'all, this ain't fun. Silence. Silence. Boss never them. 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 Y'all a part of the team. Don't put it back. Dark side general, where the lanes get packed. All my supporters, y'all are the realest ones. Without y'all, this ain't fun. Silence. Silence. Dedicated ground music. Books the nerve. Mr. Shoot right back. Stand on business, stand on law. Stand on bodies, what they saw. Dark side. Chat salute. They praying on my downfall. It's a smothered up. Bam! I smothered up. Off the new road. AKA Mr. Shoot right back. Stand on law. Stand on law. 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 Dedicated ground music. Books the nerve. Mr. Shoot right back. Stand on business, stand on law. Stand on bodies, what they saw. Dark side. Chat salute. They praying on my downfall. It's a smothered up. Bam! I smothered up. Off the new road. AKA Mr. Shoot right back. Stand on law. Stand on law. Law. Law.
Yo, that joint is so fire, man. That intro, man. Word up, it is so fire. I gotta see how you can still maneuver the my intros and all that on vertical. That's the only bad thing about vertical. It's the only bad thing, people. It's the only bad thing about vertical. You can't. Well, I can't yet. I didn't figure out how to play my music and all that while I'm on vertical. Or it's the only thing I didn't figure out. Well, not the only thing. Truba69, salute. Appreciate the pull up. Yo, I appreciate that, Charles. Look, my man Renegade still. My man Renegade like to be low. I dig it. But shout out to my man Renegade Society Production, man. You know what I'm saying? That's his work. You know what I mean? All intros, edit, clothing designer. Yeah, holla at your boy. I holla at your boy. And we'll holla at the boy and we'll get that thing happen. You hear me? We'll get that thing happening. That's a whole fact. We'll definitely get that thing happening. We'll definitely. But so first and foremost, man, again, man, appreciate y'all for pulling up, rocking out with your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. You understand? Make sure y'all come in the building, hit that like button, share the live, and go subscribe, go to my community wall, go check out my merch. Again, designed by Renegade Society Production. Or you could go to Dedicated Grind Music. Or he was just in the chat, Charles. He was just in the chat right now. He good money, still working. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all go check out 050 The Movement, man. China Brim. You understand? He just did something on I guess somebody got backdoored. Yeah, he's still grinding, man. Go check it out, man. 050 The Movement, man. If y'all haven't, man, go like, share, and subscribe to 050 The Movement. You understand me? Guys in China Brim. Still doing his thing, still putting it on. Yo, it's something that I ain't never, like I ain't never seen nowhere in no state I've been in, people. I never seen a motor vehicle outside. Or, and I wouldn't even call it a motor vehicle, you know what I mean? But it's a motor vehicle, you know what I mean? But they do the driving. They teach you how to drive and all that. But it's like in the open. It's like it's in a residential neighborhood. Facts. Yo, they don't care if it rains, snow, sleet, nothing. You see people taking driving tests. Like what? You would be bugged out. I be tripping on that joint. Like yo. But yeah, people. So we got like a lot but a little news. You dig? Starting off, as y'all know, we say, shout out to Jimmy. Got his own little podcast. You know what I mean? A to A, artist to artist. You dig? Got artist to artist. Fat Joe and Jada doing their thing. Salute to them. Salute to Cam and Mace. But, my issue with that is, right, people? And I ain't even going to say with that. The issue is overall just speaking, from a whole standpoint from, looking back. And I just feel like they taking a page out of our book over here. And to know that, because I know that, like I want to see dudes do better over here. I want to see dudes to win, because this is competitive. You know what I mean? This culture we in is competitive. You know what I mean? And I really want to see dudes win, set some milestones. You know what I mean? So we can create our own lane. You know what I mean? Definitely create our own lane. Because to sit back and see, people, is financially stable, and it's like they entering the world of podcasting or, content creating or whatever. And it's like we doing the same thing. We doing the same thing. You know what I mean? And to be honest, you don't get it no better but over here. On the dark side, that is. You dig? And yes, sir. Had to go dark on that. And yes, sir. Who else know about it but the dark side general? 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back himself. You understand me? So, as I sit and I just watch new podcast after new podcast, with these people, pretty much, as they would say, they're financially stable. You understand? And when you start dissecting, situations, and you like, wow. Some of us doing the same thing with no machine behind us. Doing a great job, by the way. Be doing something right, obviously. Because in this culture, it's a copycat culture. So if you not doing your thing, I don't think nobody gonna jack that. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna jack that. You know what I mean? So when you start to seeing dudes duplicate what we do on this side right here, it should make you go, It should make you want to step your game up. Because if y'all don't see what I'm seeing, I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. You know what I mean? And salute to them guys. Salute to them guys. But us over here, we got to look at that, man. You know what I mean? And say, yo, listen, that right there is an alley-oop within itself. Because if we was on here doing this, right, and we wasn't making noise, I don't think that they wouldn't mess with it. You know, they look at that like any other idea that I'm sure people done brought up to their attention and they didn't jack it. So when they tune in, because they tuning in, they watch. That's what makes them, that's what motivates them to go start a podcast. You see what I'm saying? So we got to do better, man. You know what I mean? Some of y'all out there, you know what I mean? Y'all in the way. Real talk, y'all in the way. Y'all definitely in the way, man. You know what I mean? And I'm not the one to tell nobody how to run their situation. You know what I'm saying? But I am going to let you know, you dig, you in the way. You know what I mean? So, you know, that right there is like, it's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? It's a gift and a curse. And if you know your craft, perfect it. Because it's going to get you a time, right? I see it happening already. When it's going to be so much of them upstairs people doing they own podcasting and all that, it ain't going to be no room for us no more. Like, you go turn on your live joint and nobueno.com. You got to think about it. We're dealing with a machine. We're going at it with a machine. You know what I mean? So you got people favorite stars or they favorite celebrity tuning in on podcasting, going live and all that. You don't think a lot of that crowd is going to go over there? No matter what sector. No matter what sector. Black Afghanistan, salute. You already know, man. BX will be next. Yeah, people, no matter what sector. You know what I mean? So we, right now, we're in a position to be real, to get that alley and get that N1. You ain't got to rush it. Slow grind it. You ain't got to rush it. You know what I mean? But just know and understand what your goal is and stick to it. It's a lot of hate on this podcast. You know what I mean? It's a lot. Like, you ain't going to see these guys going, like, that's one thing that they're not going to do it in the manner that we do it. Why? I don't think they know. They don't got the know-how yet. Right? Then not only that, when you up there with those guys, the ones that's financially stable, they play the lawyer game. So you ain't gonna be doing too much slandering, doxing. Yeah, you'll be in court. But oh boy, other than that, look what they doing. They doing the same thing we doing on here. They just getting paid for it, and majority of people on here not. You know what I mean? They gotta wake up, man. As they used to say, wake up and smell of coffee. Wake up and smell of coffee. That's a fact, because it ain't gonna be nice. They gotta have this podcast in a headlock. For real. But it's definitely it's spreading like a wildfire. By the time you turn around, somebody knew, they podcasting. We must be doing something right? I mean, they're not mimicking no other podcasters. They're not being politically correct. They mimicking what we doing over here in the dark side. /30 sector. That's a fact. Please don't ignore that. Don't ignore that. You know what I mean? Don't ignore that, man. It's going down right before our eyes. You know what I mean? Get that alley-oop, man. Get that N1. You know what I mean? Put on. Open the door. And that person open that. You know what I mean? And it keeps going, man. You know what I mean? Get your sponsorship up. The sponsorship. You know what I mean? Get that up if you can. You know what I mean? So that one right there was nerve wracking. I mean, it's mind boggling. And salute to those. You know what I mean? Salute to those who want to get their podcast on. Oh yeah. Speaking of that, that ain't about nothing anyway. I ain't even gonna. It's about your boy Turk. I go in this chat. They time me out in the chat. I said, if this ain't no dirty sector ish, they time me out in the chat. All I said, people, was salute to the chat. I give my, if anybody know, they know. Salute to the chat or salute to the panel. That's it. They time me out. And it's like, how you... That was wild. That was wild right there. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Can't tell nobody how to run their situation, man. I'm a firm believer, man. You definitely can't. Word, you definitely can't do that. So yeah, that's mind-boggling though, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, now I'm just thinking Memphis Bleak. Well, let's just stick with the Memphis Bleak thing. This will go into the story. Memphis Bleak got his own situation. And they using dark side tactics. He's going at your man now. He's going at Game. And Game is shooting right back with dark side tactics. He'll pull up, said Bleak don't want none of that smoke. I'm like, why would it even gotta go to this? Y'all dudes supposed to be financially stable. Like, why jeopardize all that because someone, have an opinion or they want to assume? You know what I mean? It's nasty, man. You dig? Nasty work. Alright. It's nasty work, people, man. You just, sometimes, man, you gotta shake your head to it. You know what I mean? Definitely gotta shake your head to it. Cause you like, if this not dark side-ish, I don't know what to tell him. Word, I don't know what to tell him. I'm like, what are they beefing for? You know what I mean? Then that, stirred up a little, I guess, who is the best rapper? Bleak or, Game? For me, I wouldn't say the best rapper. I would say like somebody that I listen to. Who would I listen to first? Game. You know what I mean? Bleak is dope, but he just haven't dropped enough material, to make you be like, yeah, I gotta go get that. Coming of Age was dope. I don't even know the whole album on that one. You know what I mean? But I know he said something about like he was some as he bent down slow. He was puffing on his joint. He bent down slow through his Pavitio. He sees somebody just using the word Pavitio vision. And I'm like, ooh, that's what caught my attention. Like, okay, Bleak. Said something about as he bent down, the sea burnt him slow, something. And he seen through his Pavitio, nigga tried to get at him or something. I said, okay. I mean, but when you listen to Game, man, not even the fact that he left a promising situation to go do his own thing. That right there is dope. He could say he did that, along with Dr. Dre, but you know what I mean? So You know, you got, you know, Memphis Bleak now and Game going at it. What else? I heard, I don't know how true it is. You know, 6ix9ine ex girl or whatever, you know, got unalived a couple of days ago in Brooklyn. They trying to attach, you know, Tekashi 6ix9ine with that. You know, that's nasty work. I don't think I've read nothing that put them stories together. But you know how the streets is. Yeah, that's a fact, Vic. That was the best thing that happened for him. He got away early. Yeah, so I don't know how true that is with the Tekashi thing, man. You know, could that be, you know, intertwined with each other? But I see he's still, you know, he's still trying to stay relevant. He definitely still trying to stay relevant. You know, so yo, and there's something else that been bugging me out. Yeah, yo, I was just about to talk about that, Vic. Bucks, you think Yo Gotti gonna get caught up in a I was just ready to talk about that, man. I was just ready to get to talk about that because yo, I'm watching the case, right? And in my mind, I'm like, yo, is this gonna turn out bad for Yo Gotti? Because I did a show on Black Youngster going at Yo Gotti, right? So I'm like, yo, you know, is that you know, Black Youngster way out because he knows something we probably don't know? Nobody haven't, you know, well, I ain't gonna say nobody, but I don't think the music fans heard or seen from Yo Gotti. So is they trying to put something together? You know what I mean? It's like this other guy, Govez dude. Yeah, this Govez dude. Yeah, I mean, I heard that. Yeah, I definitely heard that. And didn't even, well, from what old boy that's telling, he put it all out there already. You know what I mean? He put it out there already. You know what I mean? So this is public information. And they ain't even paying. Old boy ain't even get paid. So I don't know if that was straight drop, jerked him on his munyon, or what? Or did they jerk both of them? Why not? It ain't even about individual. They speaking CMG, the label. So now what they gonna do is go after the label. The label is funding this money. Same thing like Little Durk. Same thing like Little Durk. The label is funding this money to commit these acts. Who's the owner of the label? It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Who's the owner of the label? That's how they gonna, they already know. You know what I mean? They already know. Trust me, they already know. Trust that. They already know. So it's not no, you know, oh, okay, well, we're blind to the fact that he's the, like, come on, they already know, man. You know what I mean? And now, you know, to be real, when I started watching, I was watching the trial joint, which I thought it was old, but then I'm like, nah, this is new. I'm like, yo, this is new. It's, yeah, Charles, all the evidence is there. That's a fact. It's just that all Yo Gotti pieces are breaking down. They swiping them pawns off the board left and right for Yo Gotti. Nobody wouldn't know nothing. These guys, they televised it. You know what I mean? Nasty work. Now, we're not saying that Yo Gotti had to literally be involved. Nah, we're not saying that. He probably wasn't. He probably wasn't involved, literally. You understand what I'm saying? Or directly. He wasn't. But when you have a business, right? These guys represent your business, and them be the same guys that taint your business. That's a fact. And this so happened to be his brother. His brother alone is tied to CMG Records. Just alone. Not even to say the fact that that's his brother. And nobody wouldn't know nothing until old boy and them open their mouth. Old boy and them start talking. And they like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. Word, you ain't pay me? I got the job done. It's over after that. So I don't know if, you know, Yo Gotti brother didn't pay them. Yeah, Charles. Charles. Listen, not because of the payment. You know what I mean? Yeah, not because of the payment. Because of the things he was doing out there. Word, the things he was doing out there. You know what I mean? Like, again, public information. You know, they was like, your man was saying, yo, any artist, anybody who deal with, you know what I mean? Like, he was just throwing them that money on the way. Anybody had any affiliation. So I guess, you know, with that being said, it was a boomerang. Same thing. On site. Whoever sees such on site. So when you in that game, that's, you know, that's what it is. And I just think, you know, Yo Gotti brother slipped up, man. You know what I mean? He slipped up. He might have felt he was too big in the program. You know, because when you look at him, you think he humble. You know, he's a, you know what I mean, a humble giant. But he used to talk cash, yo, he used to talk cash-ish, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. Yeah, you know how that go. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you though. You know what I mean? Like, he really thought he was bigger than the program. He really thought he was bigger than the program. And another thing that I don't know if y'all watching it, right? I don't know who if y'all watching the trial, right? But y'all see how they breaking it down. The dude that was with, you know, rest in peace, Young Dolph. How he hit back, he hit both of them. He grazed one and hit one. So is he gonna get charged? Will he get charged for that? Yeah, because he let that thing go. He shot right back. That's a fact. Salute to him. But he shot right back. I think he should have been outside anyway. You know what I mean? That's a fact. I think he should have been outside anyway. You know, he was a little too off point for me. You know what I mean? You know, he shot right back, but he was a little too lackadaisical. You know what I mean? Because he should have, like, to be real, and I'm just talking out my bottom right now. I'm talking out my bottom. It would look like he lined it up a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie to you. When I looked at it, right? Now, this is a guy who's supposed to be holding Dolph down. He all on the side of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kenny, salute, man. Appreciate the pull up. You know what I'm saying? He walking on the side of him. You know what I mean? He's exposed, you know, to that open space. I'm like, yo, what was his reason for even getting out the car? He should have stood outside the store. Where that wouldn't even happen. He was like, yo, listen, man, I ain't gonna hold you, man. You know what I mean? That thing looked like, and I'm not saying it is, but it looks like, yo, did Boy have something to do with that? Because, you know, people, listen, there's no way, man, that your job is to protect somebody. And I'm not even saying that's his job. But whoever he was, Dolph was the bag. You protect the bag. If that was your man, if that was your job, whatever. You supposed to protect the bag, right? So how is it you got the guy that's supposed to be protecting the bag? He's lurking all on the side. He's not paying attention to what's going on outside. He didn't acknowledge this car pulling up. Yo, he didn't even, yo, Dolph, run. He didn't even get that off. Yo, every time, yo, they kept playing. Yo, they had mad footage. How they get this footage, yo, I don't know. Yo, they got the footage of them going to old girl house. They got the footage of a girl pulling up, giving them some type of kit. They were saying that, you know, they get themselves back together. You know what I mean? They get themselves back right. The one, I think, he got hit in the arm. And I think the other dude got grazed in the leg, something like that. So they was on it. All movements. Then, you know, what Boy's saying, you know what I mean? So everything, word for word. So they kept playing the scene out. Word. And it's like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. Why do I see Boy all the way over here? Dolph back turned to the whole situation. So he not even on point like, yo, what's this called? His back is turned. That's why I say old Boy should have been outside that cookie shop. So he would have seen these dudes pulling up already. Am I bugging? Did y'all see that? I mean, yo, you can't make it up. Then it's like after they did Dolph dirty, then he let off. Now, I'm not saying, you know, you got to be on point. But I think that dude had enough time to be on point. At least to tell Dolph to run. So when I look at that, I'm like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. It don't look right. It don't look right, man. It don't. It don't look right. Because he could have prevented that. He could have prevented that. And when you're in a situation like that, you don't got time to slip up. It's like when he started getting busy, it was too late already. Then the situation they had when they was, doing they do. That's just speculation though, people. I just found that kind of like weird. You know what I mean? Like, yo, how is it he all the way over there and Dolph, just knowing your man back is turned, you supposed to already, this an instinct. An instinct. Not walking around, not trying to order cookies, none of that. Because he had time to see that car pulling up. He had time, people, to see that car pulling up, man. That's a fact. He had time. And I'm not going to disagree that he got caught slipping. We all know that. But there's no way that he couldn't have went to plan 2. Yo, run, yo, get low. Like, Dolph ain't know what was going on until he was hit. That was nasty, man. You know what I mean? That was nasty work, yo. I couldn't understand that. Yeah, that's a fact. But you know how that is, though. You home. You don't think nothing going down like that. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't even change nothing. His man just should have been more on point. His man wasn't on point. His mom was all the way over here, like he trying to order cookies. Like, yo, what are you doing? You see your man back turned, you supposed to be, yo, listen, on everything moving. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what is this car pulling up? Yo, like, who this? Like, this, oh, man, listen, man, ain't no way. So now that I see that, that was the first time I seen that. You know what I mean, people? That's the first time I seen that, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, ain't no way in the world, man. That joint was nasty work, man. I'm telling you. The trial on right now. They may play that back. But y'all look at that. Y'all look at the time frame when Young Dolph and that dude walked into that cookie store. Dude is lurking around. Young Dolph already is in there putting in his order. And by the time he put in that order, this one you could see you see the car pull up. The dude wasn't even on point even with that. He wasn't even on point when the car pulled up. Now, I'm not saying he should jump in front of bullets, but like I said, that second, plan B should have kicked in. And yo, Dolph get low. Like I said, when Dolph found out what was going on, he was already hit. That's not supposed to go down like that. Nah, wasn't supposed to go down like that. Then old boy came out firing. So I don't know. Is the old boy? Is he gonna get charged for that? Yeah, that was sad, man. I ain't gonna hold you. That was sad, yo. Well, that was sad. You know, you brainstorm on that. I'm telling you, man. That thing looked like old boy could have lined them up. I'm speculating. I'm not saying that's what happened. But if you overthink that situation and you look at it, look at the video that they are showing, and look at that dude body language, that thing don't look like you protecting no bag. That don't look like that. That don't look like you protecting the bag. Well, that thing is so nasty, man. That's the only thing I seen when I seen it. Like for the third, fourth time, I'm like, yo, why boy so relaxed? You got the thing on you, and he didn't even see them coming. And see, that's the point I'm making, right? See, I got the video, man, but I ain't gonna do that to myself. Trust me, yo. When y'all see that, right? Y'all gonna bug out. And, you know, I haven't heard no whispers about it. You know, about just looking at the situation, right? I haven't seen nobody, you know, speculate. But when you look at it and you start to, you know, dissecting it, and you start to like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. Why the dude was so relaxed? Like, you know, like why was he so relaxed? How he didn't know, like through his peripheral vision, like how he didn't know that it was something pulling. I know he seen the white car. That's why I said he should have stayed outside. You see the store was empty, so you ain't have to be inside with him. You supposed to have been outside, so you would have seen that car even pull it into the situation. Then you could have got your thing off. But you just being walking around the store looking like you ready to put an order in for some cookies. And then, you know, your man get unalive, man. Word, then your man get unalive because you ain't let loose until they was leaving. Yeah, that's a fact. He ain't start letting back off until they was departing. You know, and by that time, you know, Dolph was unalived already. He was unalived already, man. That thing was nasty work to me, man. Even when I think about it now, and I'm like, yo, it's times with me and my guys we out just off of GP. You know, a lot of my guys, you know, chill. We go, you know, we gonna be right here, you know. Or yo, what up? You know, you enjoying yourself. Even with me, you know, if I'm with some of my, you know, my old heads, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I be more on point than enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I be more on point than enjoying myself. Cause you'll never know. You never know which way it's gonna come, and it ain't nothing like that I would ever want to happen on my clock. You know what I mean? Never. You know what I mean? Especially if I got that platter on me. It's never. I'd rather overreact to be on point than be too late to react. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. But that joint was shaky though, man. You know what I mean? And as I'm listening to the trial, and I hold on, did they have? They had him on, you know, on the stand, you know, talking this talk. That's what I was saying. Like, damn. So did they clear him of the shooting? You know what I mean? I understand that. Did they clear him of the shooting? You know what I'm saying? Like, did he not get charged? Because I hope that wasn't, you know, I hope that wasn't Dolph's security. Word, I hope that wasn't his security, man. I hope that was not Dolph's security. Because that is no bueno.com. Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I mean? That's why I don't understand. Like, what was your point to be inside the cookie store? If anything, Dolph could have ordered you the cookies that you wanted. Like, come on, there's no way. It just didn't smell right, man. When I think about it, man, it just like, yo, what was the like? The only thing you could think is like, yo, was he part of the? You know what I mean? Was he part of that lineup? No, they didn't say nothing yet, and I'm sure, you know, one of the shooters, he told everything else. So, you know, I mean, I'm sure, you know, at the end of the day, probably, you know, if old boy had something to do with it, you know, his name would have came up, which it happened. You know, this is just me speculating, people, from what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Yo, come on y'all way in, hit that like button, man. You know what I mean? Hit that like button. Come on now. I know it's more than 16 people that came through. Hit that like button. Word, hit that like button, man. That's a fact. Y'all not playing fair if y'all don't hit that like button, man. Y'all definitely ain't playing fair. It's free, people. It don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. Nothing at all.
Us never, never them. Us never them. Dark side lurking where the fake ones vanish. Shoot right back. Get my in the tightest. Chat reckless. Clapped in the chat. Block. Bless it up. Us never them. We don't switch the script. Dark side biz with a scared clip. Kinda brim. Harlem legend. Platinum shine. All my supporters. Gang, gang, gang. Man, that shit a game. I just spin the block. My content living tight, feeling lame. Rap pop news, more like hop L shit. I just did it one. Now we singing bells. Move funny, but they feet still stuck. 050 bucks, Mr. Shoot right back. Us never, never them. Miss me with the talk. I don't do suggestions. Nah. Dark time flow. Menacing, slow it down. Dark side season where the snakes get built. Loyalty to code, but the fake get exposed.
That's a whole fact. Yeah, man, but yeah, I think shaky business, man. Shaky business, yo. I you know, like, you know, just even, you know, you map everything out, everything goes swell, everything is good money, and you map it out, and you be the reason why things unfold. Talking Yo Gotti brother, man. He the reason, man. You know what I mean? If you'd have probably paid Boy the money that he needed, you know what I mean? This went like this is, you know, this is the things that goes on when you knee deep into that. Gotta think, man. You know what I mean? You can't act off emotion. You know what I mean? You gotta put that thing together smooth. You dig? Because one little mistake. Look at this. And to me, that wasn't even a mistake. My thing is, you should have just paid these dudes. You know? However or whoever didn't get paid, that's who the one starts selling. Ain't no telling what could have happened if he would have got that money on. You know, that was a nice couple dollars. You know, and they didn't want to pay that money, man. So now this opening the doors for them to get ahead and start, you know, reacting to whatever Yo Gotti got going on, and, you know, interfering in his space. And every move he do, trust me, they own him. They own him. They got too much information. You know what I mean? Especially now, right? The brother's no longer here. You know, the brother no longer here now. You know? So they start breaking that thing down. Yo, well, who funded this? You know, how was he able to get the money to pay for that situation? You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's minute, man. And it's so sad that it's just sad, man. You know, dudes make it to where they need to make it to. They get to the bag, and they pride get in the way. Pride get in the way, man. You want to be the number one guy. He want to be the, like, why not, you know, collab? No, it ain't like you had, you know, buku artists coming out of, you know what I'm saying, coming out of Memphis, you know, where it's crowded. You know, it was a handful. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and they once was cool. That's the bugged out part. Now you had two dudes, and you know, it's the same thing that happened with the Mo 3 and Yellow BZ joint, man. Same thing. Y'all grow up in the grind. Y'all both ain't have it. Now you get to where you want to get to, and you want to get to where you want to get to, and now it's big fish, little fish. Over pride. I ain't even gonna, we gonna leave the female out. Let's just say over pride as a man, a pride thing. Now look what's going on. Everything that you work hard to accomplish goes out the window now. Goes out the window. Everything you work hard for to accomplish goes out the window. Because when they come and start freezing money and all that, you know, a lot of people start distancing themselves from you. They're going to start backing off. And I think the first piece of the puzzle was Black Youngster. You know what I mean? Black Youngster is the first piece of the puzzle. Because it's sad when you break that whole scenario down. And it's like, yo, what's all this about? Nothing major that, you know, what you would say is warranted. Yo, some with my kids, yo, some with my moms. None of that. None of that. None of that, people. You know what I'm saying? And you say, wow, you know, you work so hard to get to the money on, and now you got it. And now you got to spin it on a lawyer to protect your freedom. Like, do that make any sense? It just doesn't make any sense, people. You know what I'm saying? You fight so hard, you know, to get to a position where you ain't got to live day to day. Your family good. You dig? And you got to get that money right back. And hopefully you do it before they start freezing. Because once they start freezing accounts and all that, it's over. You know what I mean? I'm sure, I don't know if Jay gonna stick around for that. You know, he got his own problems. Jay got his own problems, people. Jay ain't trying to get caught up into that. Jay trying to stay under the microscope himself. You know, he don't want to get caught up in that trail, because that's what it's going to do. You leave a trail. Okay, CMG, you running this. Okay, cool. Yo, take a page out of Murder Inc., man. Look what they did to Murder Inc. Rest in peace to Irv Gotti. Look what they did to Murder Inc., man. Look what they did to Murder Inc. You see a lot of people, we sit there and we watch it, right? Let me show you how silly we is. And I say we because I'm of the people. We so silly that we'll see this go down and then turn around and do the same thing. Like, yo, you can't make this up, man. And do the same thing, man. Know what I mean? And I know, man, ain't no way in the world, right? Irv Gotti, I mean, Paul Self, man. Rest in peace to Irv Gotti, man. Word. Wish his family well. But you know, it's no way that nah, I wouldn't say that, Charles. I wouldn't really say that, because they didn't want Murder Inc. They wanted Preem. They wanted Murder Inc. to fold, and they didn't do that. Yeah, they wanted Murder Inc. They wanted Murder Inc. to, you know, to fold. They want Murder Inc. You know, they want Murder Inc. to, you know, to tell and flip. They ain't do that. You know what I mean? But in the process of them standing on law, you know, they They froze everything, right? But the weird part about that I never understood to this day is if they beat the Chargers, why didn't y'all give them that money on back? I didn't understand that. They beat the Chargers. Word, they beat the Chargers. But they didn't get that money on back. That I know of. Like Murder Inc. just start collapsing after that. Word, they just start collapsing. Murder Inc. It went downhill. Yeah, they froze all money. Yeah, because of Preem. That's what I'm saying. That's what they wanted. They didn't want Murder Inc. They wanted Preem, and Murder Inc. just didn't tell. Just didn't tell, man. You know what I mean? But I use that as an example at, you know, with Yo Gotti. You know? To let, you know, Black Youngster tell it, Yo Gotti got his name through watching mob movies. So when you're watching mob movies, you're going to mimic what you've been watching or what you grew up on watching. Hello? You can't intertwine both, man. You can't be in the street and then you still want to talk about you's a businessman. It ain't gonna work. Unless you know to stay low and let your people do what they do over there and you stay low. This not you no more. Hello? So, I don't be understanding, you know. Yeah, that's where they mess up at. They try to, you know, play two parts of the fence, man. You know, and you either got to be on one part or the other. One side or the other. You know what I mean? I didn't see nobody yet, man, make it to do that successfully. Nobody yet. So I'm a firm believer it's not going to be done. You know, it ain't going to be done. Yeah, then they lose it all. Facts. Facts, and lose it all or take guys down with them. Yeah, it'd be nasty work, man. It'd definitely be nasty work. You know what I mean? It definitely be nasty work, man. You definitely have to really, know who you got riding with you nowadays. You got to know who you got riding with you, man. Word, because it's like they like, yeah, let them eat. Let them eat. Yo, God, eat. And they watching you, Mike, eating that banana. As soon as you do something wrong, bang, got him. Look at Boosie. You don't think they're going to spank Boosie? They're going to try to spank Boosie boots, man. In a manner to where as though not roof him. They ain't going to roof him, but they're going to spank his boots. That's a fact. Just because in their heart they felt like he got one up on him. It's a fact. In their heart, they feel like he got one up on him. So now, you know, I know he ain't plead out, did nothing crazy. So I know, you know, and understand, you know, he ain't getting nothing crazy. You know what I mean? I know he ain't getting nothing crazy. So, you know, we can stop all the speculation. I don't think Boosie would go in and take no plea for nothing crazy. He might got a 5-piece. I think he might not even get that. I mean, he took a plea. I'm sure he know what plea he took. We just don't know. Yeah, we just don't know. But I'm sure he know what plea he took, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he know what plea he took. That's a fact. I'm sure he know. We just don't at this time. We just don't know. That's all. You know what I mean? But these are the things to think about, people, man. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be waking up with nothing else on your mind but how to get to the grind. You know, how to stay out the way, how to do what you do, and enjoy life. Everything else is irrelevant, man. You know what I mean? Dudes are too grown, you know, to wake up with another man on their mind. You know what I mean? So, you know, the mental nourishment I be, you know, on this head, you know, is you know, we got to do better. You know what I mean? If you act like you know better, you got to do better. Because the things not to do is playing out right in front of us. You know what I mean? It's playing out right in front of us, people. So we don't got no excuses. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got none. You know, we seeing what they doing to our people, man. You know what I mean? We seeing what they doing. All money ain't good money. They are giving us a free lesson of life right in front of us. It's playing out right in front of us. A free lesson of life playing out right in front of us, man. And I don't understand why we still act illiterate and blind to the fact. I just can't get it. It makes no sense to me, man. Everybody can say this and say that. You know what I'm saying about, you know, the business owners, you know, have their LLC, you know, try to make it happen. You know what I mean? I salute to y'all, man. You know what I mean? Because I'm a firm believer, yo. You got to get you some business about yourself. Because if you don't get no business about yourself, man, everything that you deal with in life is going to be on borrowed time. That's a fact. Everything you have in life is on borrowed time. You have to want to own something. And be smart enough, if you get the alley-oop, go back into investing in yourself. Unless you be living on borrowed time. Meaning we already living on borrowed time. I'm talking about within the time. Within the time that we're borrowing, well, let me say it like this. We double debting. You'll be in a double debt. You know what I mean? Don't do that to yourself. Pay attention on what's going on in the world and do something about it. And that's the only thing you could do. Don't try to do nothing else, nothing less, nothing more. And it's that simple. But trust me, they got something for you, man. You know, you act like you want to get out of hand. It's at an all-time high right now, man. Join the club. It's at an all-time high right now, people. Join the club. You know what I'm saying? Join it. You know what I mean? Some of y'all fit right in anyway. You know what I mean? They looking for a new face. You know, to run around in that circus with that red thing on your nose, man. They looking for it. They looking for it. You know what I mean? They looking for it, man. They are looking for it. So, you know, be my guest. You know what I mean? Be my guest. That's a fact. Be my guest, man. You know, I ain't, you know, that ain't what I'm doing over here. That's a whole fact. I ain't doing that over here. It ain't gonna happen.
never them. It's never them.
Yo, this is my supporters, man. Everybody pull up for your boy.
Exposed. Shoot right back. Us never them. Yeah. To my supporters. Yeah. Real ones. Without y'all, this ain't no fun. Gang. Shout out. Shine a brim. Shine a Harlem legend.
050 be the movement.
To all my supporters. Yeah, I'm part of the team. Gang, man. Shit a game. I just spin the block, my content. Live, I'm tight, feeling lame. White, L's, ops. Shoot right back. Us, never them. And never them. Miss me with the fake ish.
Let's hear that one more time.
Yeah. 050BUCKS. Mr. Shoot right back. It's never them. Never them. It's never them. Us, never them. Outside. Where the fake get exposed. Shoot right back. Us, never them. Yeah. To my supporters. Yeah. Real ones. Without y'all, this ain't no fun. Gang. Shout out. Shine a brim. Shine a Harlem legend. Platinum shine to all my supporters. Yeah, I'm part of the team. Gang, man. Shit a game. I just spin the block, my content. Live, I'm tight, feeling lame. White, L's, ops. Shoot right back. Us, never them. And never them. Miss me with the fake ish. Yeah.
That's a whole fact, like a boom back rap. I have a pain be saying this. It's a whole fact, like a boom bap rap. How many songs you got, OG? Well, those are joints that I had in my a lot of those be my intros. Shout out to my guy, Renegade Society Production. Some of them be my intros, man. So I got a couple, man. I got some when I first started. You know what I'm saying? I got some. Hold on, let me see if I could. What's the name? One a throwback. From when I first started. You know what I mean? Dealing with my intros and things of that nature, man. You know what I mean? Came a long way, man. I came a long way, Charles. That's a fact, man. You know what I'm saying? I came a long way, man. And I definitely ain't mad at it, man. I'm definitely not mad at it, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have a couple, man. I have a lot. That's a fact. I have a lot. Word. Shout out to my man El Plaga. My man El Plaga TV. Y'all make sure y'all go like, share, subscribe to my man El Plaga. That's a fact. You know what I mean? He played a dope part. As far as, my shorts, my editing, some intro. You know what I mean? He definitely put on for your boy. And he's still putting on. Man, El Plaga's still doing this thing. You know what I mean? I'm glad now, a lot of people, is getting it and getting the picture. You know what I mean? But yo, Charles, this is another one I had right here, dope joint. Another dope joint.
050BUCKS, aka shoot right back, aka Bucks, they never all hundreds, aka $1 billion bucks. And the AKAs go on. I can't end my show without saying, let's sweep the F5 with the movement. Salute to my guy Harlem Legend, salute to my guy Shannon Brim, salute to my guy Platinum, aka The Machine. You understand what I'm saying? Buddy for them, what we know 050BUCKS. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, on that note, appreciate everybody for popping out.
Yeah, that's another one of my joints, Charles, right there. You know what I'm saying? Something fire. My newest one, man. I'm trying to get my StreamYard situated. You know, try to get that duck off the screen. You know what I mean? So I can definitely, get in tune with my new joint. That's fire. You know what I'm saying? Fire. Definitely fire. I can't wait. So I do what I do, and if it's worth it, man. I'm just, I'm not I'm not too whistling on how they, whistling in that stream yard. I don't like how they, I think they're jerking people, man. Cause it don't nothing come with it. You know what I mean? Like nothing comes with it. You know what I mean? Nothing comes with it, man. You dig? And it's like you in this game to make money, not to lose money. You know what I'm saying? That's the purpose, people. You in the game to make money, not lose it. You dig? And when you get caught up into that, then your thing goes sideways. You know what I'm saying? So this right here, shout out to my man El Plaga. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man El Plaga. You dig what I mean? And see, I'm glad, I don't know, something that just came by like this, right? And I say that to say this, right? Because that right there, right? That was something that my man El Plaga did, right? And putting that masterpiece together, he used some work of what my man Renegade Society Production did, right? And came out dope. You understand? It came out dope. Not why you using my and why you copying my flow and none of that, people. None of that, man. You know what I mean? None of that. None of it. You dig? And that's the crazy part about it. You know what I mean, people? And this is my man, Renegade Society Production. You know what I mean? So I did that, right, people? So now, as y'all see, the last one, that was my guy, Renegade Society Production. You know what I mean? The original creator of that situation. And then you got my guy, El Plaga, 357, threw his touch on it and made it an even doper movie. You see y'all see the point that I'm making? Not neither one of them two guys, which they both are my guys, is. Without them dudes right there, I wouldn't have no intro because I don't know how to do no intro. You know, I wouldn't have nobody take time out to make my platform representable or attractive to people and the supporters. El Plaga and my guy Renegade Society Production. You understand what I'm saying? And then when you look at that particular example, neither one of them got up there, oh, yo, yeah, you biting off me. Oh, yeah, when you using my this. Oh, yeah, you using my that. Like, it's insane. You got my man El Plaga, dope, killing the streets right now. And people be having the nerve to want to shoot his channel. Like, my guy, come on. Like, yo, come on, get it together, man. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, salute. You know what I mean? I thank everybody for pulling up, rocking out with your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back.